I have to do this. Give me a J, give me an A, give me a nondescript letter that wearing a carnation, and give me a something that comes before an fuck, and then free. Hello, hi, I'm Jack. I'm a star. At this exact moment, I don't know if I'm online or not yet. I have bandwidth challenges. I have sent out an amazing email. Oh my goodness. It is just one of the best goddamn things I ever wrote. Although, really, these days, everything that I write is better than the last. But this one's great. This one has icons in it. I think it's going to go over really well. I'm not sure where it's gone to. I got a email from at blah.com, and I replied to it, and it didn't turn out to be at all what I thought it was going to be when I began. It was at one point I became aware that I was writing directly to the Director of National Intelligence, which is not a good feeling to have when you're on the pot writing an email that started off with replying to somebody who ended their message with P.S. I hope you like the photo. It was one of those phishing things, right? And I've come to realize that what I've been doing here on this ridiculous outcropping of land that it's you can farm things here, obviously, but how I got here and what I'm doing with it, like it wasn't meant for this purpose. This is it should be a protected historical national heritage site. What's going on here? It's got a church on it. This place is fucking haunted. I have got invisible teleporting rodents. I've got alien mold and spores of fungus drifting through the air lazily, like gently wafting curtains in the breeze. I've got a bathtub. Why do I have a bathtub outside? Oh, well, it's because that guy. This was all soundstage. This was all set up for various things, and it was supposed to be, just a big fucking hoot and handy, wasn't it? It was just supposed to be all kinds of laughters and smiles for everybody, wasn't it? Oh, well, has been for me lately, but it wasn't at first. And listen. When I moved in here, November, okay, other people were here first. And when I found the place for the first time, that was it July? I think it was July. So between July and November, there are a bunch of people here doing stuff. Oh yeah. One of them sent a message into the future that I had to get through means, and somebody that I know or had known was being fucking held hostage in the goddamn house. Like kidnapping. Like they murdered her later, I guess. I don't know. Maybe they didn't actually murder her. Maybe they just pretended to, right? This was, oh boy, what a good time. This sounds like fun to have everybody coming over. Okay? Well, much like the time I got abandoned, or stranded rather. Definitely stranded. Stranded outside of George Washington at the blah, blah, blah amphitheater. You know where that one is? We go out there for a concert, and the car dies right as we get there. And we're like, okay, well, fuck it. We enjoy the show. That night, we go to the car to try and leave, and the car won't go. And everybody else leaves, and we're stuck at the venue. And let me tell you, when they're not having a big festival, when they're not having a party, when the musicians have all gone home, and the sun has come up, long ago. Oh, God. Oh, I just had a flashback. It was like 18 miles of a walk to get to the nearest place to buy cigarettes. Did anybody miss me? No, not really. No. Was it a complicated way of accomplishing a certain goal? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it really was. Yeah. Let's see. What did they do back in Seattle while I was out in the middle of fucking nowhere with a bunch of spooks who were pretending that they weren't? You fucking people. I would imagine that none of you ever thought that I'd figured out. Well, the good news is I'm not going to figure it out. I don't need to figure out what happened to George Washington. I don't need to figure out what happened to George Washington Carver. I don't need to figure out a lot of stuff. Okay, I figured out plenty of things just on a regular basis through my own study in life. So nobody needs to worry about me suddenly getting a wild bone up my ass to go fucking sniff around another fucking mystery and figure it out and publicizing it just because I can. And believe me, Punylings, I fucking can. I can figure out a lot of stuff. What I can't figure out is why am I supposed to buy bandwidth? Like, seriously? Buy data. Oh, well, I'll tell you what. This place, this house, it's kind of like or it's meant to be like a petri dish where they put a bunch of stuff in and they see what happens. They people walk in and then they seal it up and then they do something with it, and they were going to have all kinds of fun. I guess they've done this before. I mean, it's been here a while. This church supposedly was 100 years old. It doesn't look it, but it could be. In any case, they should totally tear it down and build a new one, because this one's befouled. I can't believe I'm still alive here, really. It actually doesn't smell too bad. I think I still have a sense of smell, right? It's gonna implode once I leave, like in Poltergeist. I don't doubt it. A lot of people have seen that movie at the end where the house gets pulled into the into the swimming pool. Remember? I remember seeing a documentary, kind of, I guess they call it that, where they were describing how they shot that shot, how they filmed that scene, and it involved a miniaturized house, and they tied they tied fishing line to parts of the house so that when they pulled it, it would drag itself into the hole. They wanted a house that was pulled into hell, and they filmed it, and that looks really cool. That's probably not going to happen here. Something else is going to happen here. I'm not sure what, but there's definitely spirits that are pissed. They're so angry. Oh my goodness gracious. They're not angry with me. They're very grateful to me because I have been fortunate enough to be left behind here while everyone else shows up, drops off their fucking linen and starts grinning and walking out the door. Oh God, there's some people who really need to get a fucking lesson in getting the shit kicked out of them. I don't know who they are, but man, oh man, what a bunch of fucking bastards. They sure thought they'd got away with murder, didn't they? They sure thought laughing at me was a good idea, huh? Oh, no. I can't fucking believe these people. And thankfully, I'm not going to have to name them. Just a bunch of fucking Christian cunts is what they fucking are. By the way, when you're a Christian, what kind... There's a different number of Christians in the world, okay? Technically, I'm a Christian now. Hail Lucifer, but that's not the point. Oh, God. I would have beat the shit out of you if I had known. Yeah, that's not important right now. I don't have to, do I? And Matt. Oh, I already took care of him. Matt, most of the Matts I'm friends with. 1, 2, 3. Well, okay, the one with the baseball bat, I haven't made an accounting with him yet, but I do know what I would say to him, and I believe that he knows already because he spies on shit. And I don't need to get angry with these people. But those three Matts and that Christian, and the other Christian, and who's that? There's one more Christian out there somewhere. Maybe it's Satan. I don't fucking know. But there's been a bunch of people who have been all too eager to get involved in my life, thinking that, oh, I got a great idea. I'm gonna turn up his microphone game while he's sleeping, so that he sounds like an idiot when he gets up and starts. How's that? Miking. Test one. Hello. Test. How's that sound? Okay, good. Whatever happened to David Wilcock? I don't know, but it sounded like he had a bad time. Damn, I'm sorry. I had nothing to do with David Wilcock getting a divorce or getting raped or whatever the fuck happened to him. It looked like a bad time. And I want to assure David Wilcock, if he's listening, hopefully if David Wilcock is listening to my house in real time, that would make sense. But I don't think so. And then I definitely laughed about it. I still think it's funny. I called him a ponce. I did, yeah. But I must assure that man, as well as anybody else, I had nothing to do with him getting his comeuppance. It sounds like it was pretty bad. And considering what happened to me, it probably was pretty bad. I take no pleasure at all in having to say, for the record, I absolutely did not laugh at him bursting into tears during his big reveal show. That part wasn't funny. Yeah, because I've done that too. But I definitely didn't have any role in whatever the hell they did to him. I'd love to find out, because I'm one of the few people who would be able to understand parts of it, and I could probably explain quite a bit of it to him. But I definitely didn't have anything to do with it. What else? And Whitley Strieber. Oh yeah. So I'm not overly concerned about the gay part of the Whitley Strieber experience. And then I don't know if Whitley Strieber is even still alive. His wife died. He's kind of old. He had white hair when I was a kid. He wrote the Wolfen and the Hunger, which I haven't read. My mother loved him, and I saw both those movies when I was a child. Yeah, my mother took me to lots of movies like that, and I don't really have any connection to Whitley Strieber at all. But mostly didn't like the jokes that I saw in Belgab when I got there, just because I don't like people making jokes about people getting fucking damaged when they're vulnerable and taken advantage of. I can see there's more to the story now than I did at the time, and I obviously gave people the wrong impression of what I was saying. I'm not an automatic follower of Camp Whitley or Motel Strieber. I don't feel any sort of kinship or direct connection to Whitley Strieber or his wife. I like his wife, but she doesn't come around very often at all. She was grateful that I did buy her book, but I didn't read it, and I don't think I'm anywhere near the same kind of category of writer as Whitley Strieber. He's actually published. He's made a living. He's become famous. He's worked on movie sets. He's met Christopher Walken. God damn, that must be exciting. He's nothing like me. He's way cooler. You people, the people on Belgab who are making fun of Whitley Strieber, who I assume have all moved directly over to Elgab. Looking at you, Paladin, 1991. Hi. There's a distinct thing going on here that some of you might not be aware of. The entire world is twinned. It's not just the websites. There's one world that's the chiral opposite of the one above it, and through the magic and auspices of God, I've gotten to go through both of them sometimes, like flipping back and forth, kind of like in The Talisman by Stephen King and Peter Straub. I'm special. Not all of you are in that way, and I don't mean to boast. And I'm explaining this because I don't want people to get the wrong impression. I'm not super in favor of butt sex, nor do I think it's all that cool to either talk about what happened to Whitley or to laugh about it. Either way, in any case, in many cases, it's a very personal, private thing that shouldn't be discussed. And the fact that Whitley Strieber is a public figure, that doesn't necessarily mean that we get to talk about his anus in public. Although, in his case, we do. Yeah, because, well, I bet he's got a nice anus. I don't know why he wouldn't. By now, I mean... Anyway, I guess I've kind of become the person that I thought was so terrible, because when I came to Belgab, I realized that there was a thuggy piggy gang of bullies who like to make fun of people, and there they were, right out in front of everybody, just along for the ride. Hi, we're gonna make fun of you. Okay, well, turns out some of those people are friends of mine, and they are my friends. And I'm sure many of them have gotten the wrong idea over the years that they needed to be terrified and fearful and afraid for their lives from me, given what some of them had done already at that point. Now, I'm going to say now that we're going to call that a push, because whatever suffering those people, who's going to remain nameless, whatever suffering those people have gone through as a result of my decision to burst into the Belgab forum and do what I did, I've suffered too, as well. Yeah. So I've definitely gotten over the whole wanting to punish pedophile thing. I never really wanted to punish any pedophiles. I never really had anything. No, I never thought about it really. I didn't actually make a connection there between Whitley Strieber and pedophilia. But I can see that the connection does exist there, right? And then I'm definitely not a part of any current gang on either side of the issue. For example, okay, there are people who say that parents should be allowed to raise their children as they see fit without any interference. And then there are people who say, well, you got to do this and this and this. And I actually got a point. And then there are other people who say, I want to go out in the hills and have a bunch of children and then raise them until they're a certain age and then kill all the other ones that I don't like, and then breed the ones that are left in a state of a hypnotic coma with these drugs that I can make in my backyard laboratory. And then I'm going to make children that are all my genetic material, and then they won't know where they came from, and then I can reveal that to them as part of an initiative experience, and then they'll suck my dick. That's not what I'm going to do. I don't want my dick sucked. The other part, well, that's just an example. But what I mean to say is that there are people currently on the planet fighting over this exact subject. For example, in California, the age of consent to engage in sexual activity is 18. In Washington State, it's 16. Okay, some people think that's a big fucking deal. I don't. And then other people think that the decision on when to breed your kids should be left to the parents. And I'm not a parent, so I'm not really qualified to say a whole lot on that subject. Although it's an interesting topic for debate that currently rages amongst the corridors of power on the planet, but nobody's talking about it on the news. It should be. It seems pretty important to me. And this whole information compartmentalization bit where some people get to talk about certain things and other people are just blissfully unaware that such things are going on. I don't like that. Like, who, for example, who's going to go out into the hills and tell the people that are bivouacked up there in the fucking mountain, up in the boonies where fucking nobody talks to them, how are you going to get their opinion? Oh, that's right. They don't want their opinion. This whole thing's getting out of hand, and the degree to which it has been outhanded gotten should be apparent because you got a guy sitting. Well, actually, I'm standing in front of a microphone. I don't have any connection to the outside world other than cellular signal, and this is supposed to be some kind of a petri dish. Like what? I'm isolated from the outside world, am I? Oh yeah. Assuming that the military actually had control over every single piece of bandwidth between me and the central solar sun of the Pleiades. Do you know the names of all the stars in the Pleiades? Do you? I don't either, but if I needed to, I just asked the one. Okay, this whole idea was very ill-founded. Commander, hear that train? That one sounds different, doesn't it? All right. I don't know where certain people are, and they have been looking for me. Also, some of those people who are looking for me are being looked for by others. For example, there is one particular person who is wanted by the authorities for a number of things. Okay? A number of things. And because of that fact, I can't invite that person into my house and have sex with them because then I would be guilty of aiding and abetting a felon, which is not cool. I don't want to do that. Number one, I don't want to get charged with a felony. Number two, this is a goddamn church and I'm ordained. So fuck you. This is sanctuary. A lot of people don't really accept that fact. They seem to think that I need to wear a special shirt or a particularly groovy kind of hat or not have sex at all or, be registered first. No, you can't go to God unless you talk to City Hall. Like, what the fuck? Fuck you, motherfucker. Oh, excuse me, Madam Clerk. Oh, hello, you're right. See, I do respect authority. That was Madam Clerk. Did you see her? No, you didn't. That's okay. You don't have to, Punyling. I'm a man of God. I know these things. I know how they work. And when they don't work, or I don't know, guess who comes and tells me? God! I don't need a goddamn bivouac of fucking SWAT team dudes fucking living next door to me with their fucking guns and laser mics pointed at my fucking house. I don't. It's not how it works. I'm sure for an atheist, it does make sense that you'd have to have somebody keeping an eye on the crazy atheist who's just pretending to be ordained so he can get a tax write-off. Dumb motherfucker. It's not at all like that in reality. It's not. If I were just pretending to be talking to God, I wouldn't have made it through all the shit that it took me to get here at all. Only by the grace of God have I managed to withstand all these fucking idiot yokels fucking blowing up my shit and fucking taking my life away and running roughshod through all my crap. Fuck, there's no way Job went through all this. No, this has got to be worse than Job. Not that I'm any more godly than Job was, but still, what, hail of locusts? That'd be fine compared to a fucking gaggle of fucking Potawatomi going through my shit. Christ, they ransacked my belongings like 8 or 9 times. They took my father's guns, my mother's jewelry. They sold on eBay. I hope they got a bunch of money. They're going to want it back, fucking dumbasses. Fuck. Oh, and the FCC. Fuck you, niggers. I'll say any goddamn word I want. And if those of you at home are upset that you don't get to say the word nigger, and I do, well, for one thing, I don't get to say it. I'm simply prepared to accept the consequences thereof. And one of the consequences is if I say that word wrong, I fully expect to get the shit beat out of me by a gang of very angry, who knows what color they'll be. Okay? That word is a potent, powerful word. And those people who do say it, there are reasons. It is a self-solving problem. Who says the N-word? The N-word. Fuck you, white lady. Jesus Christ almighty. Oh, and that one too. The issue between the blasphemers and the niggers and the people who think that they need to police speech. It's a very, very complex issue. That's my area. I'm not in charge of deciding what age your children get to fucking breed. That's not my job. Thank God. If I had children, I don't really have children. That's not how a symbiont works. We'll talk about that later, if you like. Where am I going with this? Oh yeah, so I wrote this email, and I'm not sure where it went, and I sent it to myself by way of a redirection service, as well as to 4 other places, and it might be something that broke the law. I don't think so. I went to a lot of effort to make very sure that I did not break the law or go against the no contact order. However, not everybody who's enforcing the no contact order is probably aware of what the fuck they're doing, because they're idiots. Why wouldn't they be? They're working for a court that tells people not to fucking talk to each other for a year and a goddamn half after fucking having a relationship for 5 years, thinking they know what the fuck's going on. District court, do you know what the fuck you're doing? No, you don't. No, you don't. No. Long before now, somebody should have looked me up and said, hey, we got to tell you something. But instead, you've been caught up in a web of intrigue that, God, from the point I'm looking at in the future, looking at I'm in my present, but in the past, this was my future. And looking back on my past, I realized that there's no fucking way anybody would have been able to see any of this coming. Whatever kind of experiences you've been having as a result of whatever kind of stupid bullshit you did, by completely ignoring my rights and your responsibilities to protect them. I don't have rights because of the Constitution. I have rights because of God. Okay? You might want to pay attention to that fact. It's not because there's a disclaimer on my email that I have special privileges. I have special privileges because I'm fucking special. So are you too. The numbers of people I've met over the last few years that have looked at me side-eye, stink-eye, a glance, thinking that they knew something better than me, looking at me as though, oh, he's just me, he just wants to fuck her, or whatever the fuck they're thinking. Whatever kind of stupid fucking bullshit these fucking people have been crying about. Oh, speaking of which, that woman who I called out the other day, I don't regret calling you a bitch. I regret having to do it in public. Gosh, I don't know, did your fucking signal stay up? Really disappointed in you. Really. Honestly. There's no reason for that at all. I mean, what I said. Nevertheless, I wasn't wrong, was I? No. I don't think that you think you know anything about what's going on any level of reality whatsoever. You probably have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. And since you're such a fucking expert, that means that you just get to treat me like a person you don't have to respect. See, in life, everybody's either person A or person B. Person A, you gotta respect. Person B, you can just shit on all day, and then everything's fine. Is that how you see it? Well, you're not wrong. But I do think that you could do better, and you certainly could have done better. And the fact that people have played jokes on you and told you things in order to fuck you up in the past should not reflect poorly on the people that you're going to deal with in the future. I don't know if you're going to deal with me at all, ever, at all. Given that, I don't even know if you're hearing this, you might be in jail already, or you might be dead, or maybe you're just, maybe you just had your fill of me. Certainly I've had my fill of your bullshit. That's for sure. Christ. God. Now, I don't want to say anything too rude, but remember, anybody out there remember when Mitt Romney was involved in some sort of deal where a bunch of Mormons went across the border in Mexico and they all got shot or something? There was this massacre where a bunch of people got murdered. They got ventilated by Mexican bullets, and they were all related to Mitt Romney or something. It was a sad thing. I guess there was like 22 of them or something. I don't think that's cool necessarily, killing a lot of people, unless, well, I'll just say this. I can imagine quickly a number of reasons why a whole shitload of Mormons would have to get ventilated by bullets. God, you fucking people are assholes. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's kind of okay to be that way. I'm not personally involved with any Mormons that I know of. But the way Americans have handled things, Americans, when I say Americans, the way conflict has been handled on this continent, it's been pretty fucked up. Starting with Jonestown, I guess, Plymouth Rock, all that shit. That thing where Joseph Smith apparently got the writings delivered to him using the fucking stones and all that shit. God, that sounds like fucking CIA boilerplate, doesn't it? Well, it probably was. So, where was it? Oh yeah, that fucking woman. I don't need to hear your bullshit, lady. And you should probably be a lot more respectful to others in the future. Let me guess. You think I should be more respectful to you now? You're right. I should be speaking to you much more respectfully. You're older than I am. You're a lot older than I am. You're a parent and a mother. I'm not a parent. So I get you. Yeah. You have a certain stagger and sway in society that should be respected much more than I have ever shown you. To be fair, one of your daughters told me that I should date you. So I don't know how much respect she thought she should have for you. I think, in fact, you might have been replaced by a pod person at some point. You don't really act like you used to. And then that thing with the phone call. Look, I'm just gonna say it one more time. Fuck you, lady bitch. That was rude. That was disrespectful to yourself, and it certainly caused you a lot more problems. Given that before that, I didn't really have the same kind of opinion of you that I do now. Before that, I thought you had a cerebral cortex. Now, I can see that you've probably been taken over by one of them bugs that's living in the brain, controlling your higher functions. Do you even have a brain left? I don't know. Did you get it from weed? I don't know. Do you have the COVID? I don't know. Are you fucking vaccinated? I don't know. I don't care. I don't care, lady. I tell you this. When I tell somebody that I have a message, it means I have a fucking message and it should probably be delivered. I don't demand such things, but I would expect that you would want to know something about shit that happens to your children and your descendants. I don't care if you agree with me or not. Fuck. I mean, you think I wanted to go through you? No. You think I give a shit that you don't agree with me? Well, I did, honestly. So anyway, I still haven't gotten my message out to the one person that needs to get it. I'm not sure why it's so vitally important that I don't fucking talk to this person, other than, well, I can see how people got the wrong idea. You know what would have been really cool is if one of your other descendants, as well as her stupid gang of bitch-ass friends, had actually told me things that were the case that I didn't know, and instead had not done all the stupid, crazy bullshit that they've done ever since. Now, I know everybody involved is extraordinarily sorry. They're very sorry. Because now I get to tell you how fucking stupid you are. You know, I can just say your name right now. What are you going to do? Fucking sue me? Yeah, no, we all know who I'm talking about. Except we don't, do we? No. I could be talking to Oma, but I'm not. Oma, I love you. You are not the worst woman in the world. Can you believe it? No, I think you're cool. Well, cool. I think you're an upstanding member of society. And compared to that woman, you are a pillar of decency and virtuousness, which I always thought you were anyway. Your kids told me that you were scary, but I always thought you were nice. Yeah. This other fucking woman, I can't wait to go to your house and have coffee with you and tell you how fucking stupid she was. Oh, no rush on that. Anyway, I'm going to publish this if I got any goddamn bandwidth. Like, I've just had it up to here, he said, pointing at his dick. I'm not going to put up with more of this shit.
If I had my way.
This is fucking stupid.
If I had my way.
And that's why you probably should have let me talk to your granddaughter.
If I had my way.
You get me? You got it? Good.
I'd burn this whole building down.
The Shirley Manson Love Fest continues.